hard to see any kind of a change in a week, correct? But now it's been about a month of them really putting a lot of focus there. BCSO also this past week announced that they were also going to be joining in on all of that. What have you, as someone who works there day to day, what have you seen since we last spoke? Has it gotten better? Has it gotten worse? Stayed the same? You tell me about your experience.
Personally, I feel it has gotten worse. I do see this on a day-to-day basis, with the exception of weekends. I try not to consume myself there. So it has gotten worse. Since then, a bus load of 400 illegal immigrants have been dropped off right on Central in Tennessee. And the city did come and inform me. We have been working hand in hand with BCSO. I do have to commend Officer Tidwell for being in great contact, coming to my facility and showing up. But as we have stated, this is a bigger problem than one or two people can tackle. It's going to take an army of people to be able to tackle this. I believe that the last time that you and I met, it was around State Fair and Balloon Fiesta timeframe. And I was also informed by the city that their hands are tied, and due to the reasoning of that they are provided with multiple resources during that time to be able to clean up our city. But once the Balloon Fiesta ends, everyone's cut off from the resources that they're able to provide. So it's quite unfortunate what we're seeing out on the streets. Last night, I did have a client out at the Veterans Hospital, and on my way home, I decided to drive Central and just check on my shop. And right there where the multi-million library is located, it's very, very sad because they tore down what used to be called the Caravan, which was a like a dance saloon area, very popular back in the day. And it was just consumed with the homeless population and drug addicted people. Now, my compassion to them is great. We meaning my husband and I, we assist with the drug addicted people. We offer them resources. We have seen multiple success stories, but the fashion that things are being handled is not the way to go about it. So we have a multiple of homelessness, we have drug addicted, and we have the mentally ill out there. And I got to speak. We're very compassionate to the people. We help them. They're very respectful to us at our place of business. They have also informed me this past week, I had a conversation with three who said, Mrs. Garcia, we don't have any problems out here on the streets. We don't want to pay taxes. We get fed 3 to 5 times of hot meals a day. And so we actually have it made out here. We get all the clothing, all the resources that we need. So it's a problem for many out there.
Patty, BCSO, one of the things they mentioned in their presser was that, they were going to try to work with the businesses in order to improve a lot of the problems that are going there. Let me actually read to you one part that they said. So one thing they said was, it's been a systemic problem that's been here for a while, and this is a huge vein, speaking about Central, to all the businesses and the communities we serve. And, they know that this is a deal breaker for businesses not to want to be there if they can't make it safer. What are your thoughts when it comes to that? Do you feel like as a business owner, you are being, I guess, incorporated into making things better?
Oh, absolutely not. I email 3 times a week. And again, BCSO is probably one of the only ones that has responded, aside from one individual that does work for the city of Albuquerque. He has responded as well. But we have not been incorporated at all. I have requested help multiple times in my emails, and that's probably how you got my information. I send at least 3 emails a week to multiple people, over 25 to 50 people weekly. I have requested that individuals step up and come and see what we encounter on a daily basis. I have not had one person besides Officer Tidwell and besides the gentleman from the city of Albuquerque reach out to us. And they are the only 2 who have been helping. And so I feel ghosted. I feel cheated. It's terrible the way that we are treated as business owners, and I'm not the only one on our street. Others fear retaliation, but I do know that there are 3 other business owners on our street that feel the same way, and they are also on the emails.
Patty, have you seen an increased level of police presence in those streets along your businesses along Central? Has that helped at all?
No, there is not an increased level of police presence, nothing more so than what has been in the past. We do see community service drivers, which now when I call 311, I ask for them to come out. Any help is great, if you will. But as far as there are police officers along Central tending to this, moving them on, but I don't see that it's more than it ever has been before. Again, it's a temporary thing that they're doing. They're not doing a solid fix to the problem, and that's what we need to see.
The one thing that BCSO did say in their press release, presser as well, was just the fact that they admit that they're not going to sugarcoat the fact that they know it will take some time. They're like, we know, and this was just this last week, so their part in this will probably take a little bit more time. But the sheriff is basically saying, this is going to take a couple of months perhaps to start to see some of this change. What are you hoping for in these next few months now that BCSO, I guess, is also saying that they're going to be trying to assist APD to make things better? Because initially it was just APD who announced that they would be along Central, and BCSO this past week said that they will be joining in as well. So what are you hoping to, I guess, see now going forward and when it comes to possible changes?
Well, moving forward, I would like to see us really doing something about this problem. It's a drug epidemic going on out there. So we have mentally ill that need to be institutionalized and taken care of. They cannot take care of themselves. They are destroying themselves in front of our very eyes. And to me, that's inhumane. The drug addicted, there are sober living homes. There are rehabilitation clinics. Everybody says, well, they have rights, and they do, just as we do as business owners and law-abiding citizens. But it's really important to remember that it's inhumane to see them destroy themselves in front of our very eyes. We also have the homeless population. A lot of the homeless population tell me they like being out there on the streets. They get all their resources. They get free tents, free hygiene, free food, free clothing, which is great for those that are truly in need. But we need to start to be able to discern and start to make decisions to help them, and not just leave them out there to destruct and destroy themselves. And then fires, our businesses, I had called the fire station on Friday because they had a fire lit. Of course, it's getting cold outside. So if I could purchase the Fair and Square building and house these people, there's also one on Lomas and University. There's the West Side Shelter, but they tell me, and we're communicative with them, they don't want these resources because there's rules they have to abide by.
Patty, are you worried about your business
Absolutely.
there in that location?
Absolutely.
What are your biggest concerns for it? Like, what on a day-to-day afternoon? I mean, you mentioned that just yesterday or the other day you drove by it just to check up on it. Is it something you do often, and why? What thoughts go through your head every day?
Well, from what we've experienced in the past 12 years, fortunately, we have a very good camera system, which isn't going to prevent people from destroying. And we do have a lot of people in the area that do take care of our place. But what my fear is we have to shut doors. People don't want to show up. I get text messages, which I've sent in emails, that say, Patty, we're afraid to get down. These people will come to your doors, car doors, asking for help. It's scary for them, for a lot of clients. We service government, military, and state police. And they're not afraid to do so. But even the presence of them, we have other individuals, other people on the streets that are egging the homeless on to not abide and to retaliate and fight back. And, there's a big problem out there that really needs to be recognized. And we need to start citing these people for doing drugs in front of our very eyes or putting them in institutions. I'm very worried about our business, and I'm worried that we've worked so hard to have a business, and now we're going to basically have to shut doors, unfortunately.
You mean you're actually having to close the one on Central, Patty?
We probably are, yes, absolutely. That has been the discussion for the past year, and that's where it's headed, because we just cannot seem to get the streets cleaned up. The other day, they were blocking our gates. It took us over an hour of my employees having to move the people that were living in front of our gates. And they give pushback, but we're kind to them. But it's just a huge problem.
Thank you, Patty. Thanks for sharing that. But you guys haven't decided like we're closing on this day or anything like that,
No,
right?
as of yet, we're not. We do have options, of course, of moving to another location, but to up our business, the type of business that we have, it's not feasible to just up all our equipment and our employees and have to move to a different location. We're barricaded in on a daily basis. The homeless wipe their feces all over my employees' cars. It's just, I think what my biggest frustration is there is God's Warehouse on the corner that doesn't have any monitoring of the feeding, and they feed every day from 3 to 6. So the population of people, the homeless, the drug addicted, come by. Now, we know, we've been there for 12 years, so we know what goes on there. We see it. I send videos in. I think if there was police presence, APD would come 3 to 6 every day to monitor what goes on, make sure they don't destroy the streets. You yourself saw the feces in front of my building. I mean, this is a health problem as well. And our children are seeing this. There's a daycare on the corner. And so it's very concerning what goes on that street. Things need to be monitored.
You just describe what this whole ordeal has been in the last month, just even of how it's gotten worse. How would you describe it in a couple of words?
Purely inhumane. I feel like we live in a third world country.
Patty, and then you mentioned, my last question, that you said that some businesses, are afraid of retaliation. Why are you speaking out about all of this? Why is it important to you?
Because I'm vocal and I'm transparent, and I'm just looking for help. We offer these people resources, and those that do want them, I will call a gentleman from the sober living home, and he'll pick them up immediately and start to rehabilitate them. I care. I have compassion for the homeless, for the drug addicted, and for the mentally ill. And the manner that things are being handled is not the way to go about it. And I have asked multiple individuals that are with power, whether it be the mayor, governor, district attorney, whoever it may be that's on my email list. I'm not into the political side of things, but we should all be looking at what's going on and how we can fix the problem. And it's not just my business. There's multiple businesses that are really suffering. Businesses have closed. I speak out because I want to make a difference, and I'm just tired of seeing the people do this to themselves. It's somebody's mother, father, child, brother, sister, etc. And if we are that heartless to not be able to help in the proper way,